Hello and welcome on board, guys. So yeah, Max Verstappen, the world champion. After a tough F1 bout between him and Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen came out on top, capitalizing with 395.5 to 387.5 points against Hamilton. While many people praise Verstappen for his glorious victory, some say he just got lucky. It was one heck of a controversial bout between Hamilton and Verstappen, but in the end, Verstappen triumphs as world champion of F1 2021. What happened on the racetrack that became a controversy right away? That's interesting. Hamilton was on a victory track, but why did he finish the second spot? Let's look at what other drivers have to say about Verstappen's first ever world championship victory. Nicholas Latifi. Canadian driver Nicholas Latifi, who unintentionally played a major role in Verstappen's victory, was completely unintentional. He said that he had no idea about the eventual outcome of his crash. He said, "It was never my intention, and I can only apologize for influencing and creating an opportunity. I made a mistake." He added, "We were just struggling for grip through the next sequence of corners, and especially where I ended up going off. I wasn't aware of the situation of the race until then. Obviously, it was never my intention to inadvertently influence what happened, but I made a mistake and ruined my own race." Well, Latifi caught up in a bit of controversy, but let's not forget that he lost the race, and no racer would lose a race intentionally. George Russell. Hamilton's future teammate, George Russell, who had retired from the race, labeled the result as unacceptable. Former British racer tweeted, "This is unacceptable." He added, "Max is an absolute fantastic driver who had an incredible season, and I have nothing but huge respect for the guy. But what just happened is unacceptable. I cannot believe what we have just seen." Daniel Ricciardo. The Australian driver was also left in disbelief by what he witnessed. He finished 12th in the race, but found himself behind Verstappen and Hamilton in the final race. He said to his team, "Cheer, guys. I'm glad I'm not part of whatever just happened. It seemed pretty fucked up. Thanks guys for the season. At the end, it was kind of weird. They said cars can't pass the lapped cars, then some of them did, but then I wasn't allowed to. We did a one-lap restart. I'm sitting right behind Lewis and Max, like, why am I here? I don't know. It was very interesting." Lance Stroll. The Canadian-Belgian driver was pretty frustrated with the result and the safety cars. "It was a tricky race today, and we were not able to benefit from the late safety car because we were not waved through to overtake, which was frustrating and I did not understand. It was a late chance to make up some places and potentially aim for the points after we made the decision to pit again," he said. Let's say the safety cars weren't exactly safe for Stroll. Lando Norris. The British-Belgian racer was also quite frustrated with the situation at the racetrack. He said, "I'm not too sure what was said by the FIA. At first, we weren't allowed to overtake. So if that influenced decisions, and if that's the reason Mercedes didn't do the pit stop, but then the FIA suddenly changed their minds and we're allowed to pass, then that's where I'm not sure." I'll say congrats to both drivers in terms of the decision. Yeah, for it to end like that, I'm not so sure. So I think it's fair to say that there has been plenty of confusion and even bemusement between the drivers. Fernando Alonso. The Spanish driver thinks that Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton deserve the championship trophy split in two. Alonso is the champion of last round showdowns and was pretty impressed with the performance of both the racers. He added, "Verstappen is a champion. It was a matter of time that he would win the trophy. I think today, he was lucky. Without the safety car, Lewis was world champion. More than any other year, if you could split the trophy in two, this was the year to do it. Because both of them were outstanding. When you lose the championship because of the safety car at the last moment, for sure you feel a little bit sorry, but congrats Max for the victory. I hope I see Hamilton next year as well." Sebastian Vettel. The four-time German world champion, Sebastian Vettel, was also quite sympathetic towards Lewis. "I'm happy for Max, but I'm mostly sorry for Lewis. I think he had an incredible end of the season, and to be honest, from my point of view, I don't care who wins, but I think they both deserve it. In the end, only one can take it. So yeah, it was an intense fight, good for the sport. And you know, it was always obvious that if you're the lucky one, it's great. If you're not, it's not great." Toto Wolff. The Austrian executive was left in disbelief after Hamilton's loss. He told the media that seeing Hamilton lose was a painful thing to watch. He didn't speak to the media. Aftermath of the race in utter disbelief, I would have been totally okay with Max and Red Bull winning the championship on Sunday, and this situation is nothing to do with Max. He is a worthy champion, his driving is exceptional, and the Red Bull are fierce competitors, and I have nothing but respect for the people working there. So it has nothing to do with them. But I would have loved to sit here and avoided all these discussions. But still, I would say that it will take a long time to digest what happened. I don't think we will ever get over it. That's not possible, and certainly not him as a driver. But I would very much hope that Lewis continues racing because he's the greatest driver of all time. Conclusion. Now, as passionate motorsport fans, we hope that Lewis continues racing despite what happened, because he is one of the greatest of all time. After all, we should always agree that Max is an energetic young lad and has just started his career as a motorsport racer. As now that he's a world champion, I think we should all appreciate the efforts of this guy. He proved that he could achieve what you desire with sheer devotion and determination. Max Verstappen, ladies and gentlemen, the champion of F1 2021. We should also appreciate Lewis for being the greatest sportsman in his field and showing a great spirit by celebrating with Max and congratulating him on his victory. Sure, there were circumstances, sure there were things that weren't in Lewis's control, but he proved that even when it comes to second or third or fourth, he is just an absolute gem of a man, and we hope that he stays that way. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you found this video interesting. Before signing off, I would like you guys to hit that like button below and share the video with your friends who follow the sport. Until the next video, Happy New Year and bye!